All right, so are you ready to like jump into the world of European AI?
Sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating stuff.
Okay.
Basically our listener today is super interested in this whole AI scene that's blowing up over in the EU.
Okay.
And they want to know how to like get involved.
Hmm.
And what's really cool is that Europe isn't just trying to build AI. They
Right.
want to be like the leaders in what they're calling trustworthy AI.
Hmm.
So I'm curious, what do you think that even means? Like what is trustworthy AI?
Well, I think the EU is really focused on building systems that are like reliable and transparent and accountable.
Okay.
So they want to ensure that AI is used for good for everybody.
So it's not just about making like the most advanced AI. It's
Oh,
about making AI that we can actually rely on and feel good about using.
exactly. And they're actually putting their money where their mouth is.
Huh.
They've dedicated a ton of money actually through this thing called the Digital Europe program. 7.5 billion euros specifically for AI development.
Whoa. Okay, that's a lot of money.
It is.
So they're definitely serious about this.
Oh, yeah. And one of the ways they're using this funding is through these things called AI factories.
AI factories. Okay, now I'm picturing like, robots putting together algorithms on an assembly line.
Well, that's a cool image,
Yeah.
but it's not quite like that.
Okay.
It's more like a collaborative ecosystem.
Okay.
So think of it as a hub where like researchers, businesses, policymakers can all come together
Mm-hmm.
to kind of brainstorm and develop and test all these new AI solutions.
So it's about speeding up the development of trustworthy AI.
Yep.
And working together.
Exactly.
Okay, so like what kind of stuff is actually coming out of these AI factories?
Well, one really cool project I read about is focused on revolutionizing like medical diagnostics.
Okay.
So they're developing these AI-powered systems that can analyze medical images
Mm-hmm.
and help doctors diagnose better.
So that sounds incredibly useful. But how does that tie back into like the whole trustworthy AI idea?
Well, these systems are designed to be transparent.
Okay.
So doctors can see exactly, how the AI arrived at the diagnosis.
Okay, so like it shows its work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what features it focused on in its reasoning.
Oh, that's cool.
So that builds trust.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, a doctor's going to feel a lot more comfortable using that kind of system if they know how it's working, and a patient too.
Yeah, and this is just one example.
Mm-hmm.
The EU is funding a huge range of projects across like all kinds of sectors,
Okay.
all with this focus on trustworthy AI.
This is all sounding very impressive, but let's get practical here.
Right.
If our listener is thinking, okay, I have this brilliant AI idea,
Mm-hmm.
how do I get a piece of that 7.5 billion euro pie?
Well, they're in luck because episode 5 of the AI Leadership in Europe podcast actually dives deep into funding
Oh,
for
perfect.
AI developers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a treasure trove of information on all the different grants that are available.
Awesome. We'll definitely have to dig into that.
Yeah.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, there's another initiative I want to touch on, Euro HPC.
Oh, yeah.
What is that all about?
Well, it's all about providing the muscle behind these really ambitious AI projects.
Okay.
So we're talking about supercomputing infrastructure on like a huge scale.
So the computing power you need to like train these complex AI algorithms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They realize that, to build the future of AI, you need some serious computing power.
Makes sense.
And they're investing to make sure Europe has all the resources it needs.
So it's like they're building the high-tech gym for AI to get buff.
I like that analogy.
All right, so we've got the funding through the Digital Europe program. We've got the collaborative development happening in these AI factories.
Yep.
And then the raw computing power from Euro HPC.
Right.
It's all starting to feel like a pretty well-coordinated effort.
Yeah, it's a comprehensive approach for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They're really laying the groundwork for a thriving AI ecosystem and sending a clear message that, Europe is open for business.
I mean, that's got to be really exciting for anyone who wants to get involved in this space.
It is.
But it can also feel a little overwhelming, right?
Yes, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
But that's what makes it so exciting.
It's true.
It's dynamic, it's a supportive environment for innovation, and it's attracting talent and investment from all over the world.
I think what's really cool is that they're not just reacting to the AI revolution.
Right.
They're actively shaping it
Exactly.
with their vision and their values of, trustworthiness and collaboration.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think that's what sets Europe apart in the global AI landscape.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just focused on building the most powerful AI, but building AI that we can all trust.
Okay, so that's a great overview of the EU's plan for like AI domination.
Yeah.
But let's get down to like the brass tacks, for our listener who's ready to dive into this world.
Okay.
Where do we go from here?
Well, in the next part, we'll dive deeper into those funding opportunities that you mentioned.
Okay.
We'll explore all the different types of grants, who's eligible,
Mm-hmm.
and how to craft a winning proposal.
Sounds good to me. Stay tuned, folks. We're just getting started. All right, so let's dive into these funding opportunities.
Okay.
We're talking about episode 5 of the AI Leadership in Europe podcast series.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the one that's all about helping aspiring AI developers navigate the world of EU grants.
Right.
You called it a treasure trove of information.
It really is. They break down all the different types of grants available,
Okay.
from like early stage research
Mm-hmm.
to ones that support like bringing existing AI solutions to market.
So they're supporting projects at every stage of development.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fantastic.
So, whether you have like a groundbreaking new algorithm or you're ready to scale up a promising solution,
Mm-hmm.
there's probably a grant program out there designed to help.
Okay, that's awesome. But I'm guessing it's not as simple as just, raising your hand and saying, hey, I need some euros.
You're right. It's a little more involved.
Yeah.
There's a whole application process,
Okay.
and it can be pretty competitive.
I imagine so.
Yeah.
We are talking about potentially millions of euros in funding.
Exactly.
So what are some tips for like standing out from the crowd, and crafting a winning proposal?
Episode 5 gives some really great insider advice.
Okay.
One thing they emphasize is the importance of clearly articulating the impact of your project.
Okay, so it's not enough to just describe your cool AI technology.
No,
You need to explain how it'll benefit society.
exactly. And how it aligns with the EU's overall goals.
So it's not just about the what, but the so what.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to connect your project to the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
Show how it contributes to like a better future.
Oh, okay, so like, let's say you're developing an AI system to optimize energy consumption in buildings.
Right.
Instead of just saying, hey, my AI can make your building more energy efficient.
You need to like paint a broader picture.
Yeah, you need to highlight the potential impact on reducing carbon emissions
Okay.
and lowering energy costs and contributing to the EU's sustainability goals.
You're framing it as a solution to like a real world problem
Exactly.
and showcasing how it aligns with their priorities.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it's not just about showcasing the positive impact, but
Mhm.
demonstrating that you and your team have the expertise and the plan to actually execute the vision.
So you can walk the walk,
Yeah.
not just talk the talk.
Exactly.
Right.
The EU wants to fund projects that have a high likelihood of success.
Mm-hmm.
They need to see a clear roadmap, a solid team, a well-defined budget.
So it's like you're presenting a compelling story,
Yeah.
but backed by a solid plan.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But even with the best idea, the most polished proposal,
Right.
navigating the world of grant applications can be a little daunting.
Yeah, it can be.
I mean, there's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, there's always paperwork. Bureaucratic hurdles.
But the podcast episode actually offers some good advice on how to navigate those challenges.
Okay, give us the inside scoop. What are some common pitfalls to avoid?
One of the biggest mistakes people make is not paying attention to the eligibility criteria.
Okay.
So each grant program has specific requirements.
Mm-hmm.
And it's super important to make sure you meet those requirements before you even start writing the proposal.
Oh, yeah. I can see how that would happen. You get so excited about your project and then realize, oh, wait, I don't actually qualify for this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So before you get too carried away with your brilliant idea,
Mm-hmm.
take the time to review those guidelines
Okay.
and make sure you check all the boxes.
Check all the boxes.
Yeah.
All right. Any other tips for navigating this bureaucratic maze?
Another key point they highlight is clear and concise communication.
Okay.
You got to make sure your proposal is easy to understand
Mm-hmm.
and effectively conveys the value of your project.
So no jargon-filled technical ramblings.
No, definitely not. The reviewers need to be able to quickly understand the essence of what you're doing
Right.
and why it's worth funding.
So it's about telling a compelling story
Mm.
in a clear and concise way.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But even if you do everything right, competition for these grants is fierce.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's a lot of brilliant minds out there
Hard
all
work.
vying for these funding opportunities.
But don't let that discourage you.
Okay.
The EU has dedicated a ton of money to AI,
Mm-hmm.
and they're actively looking for innovative projects to support.
So it's not like winning the lottery.
Not exactly. It's a competitive process, but if you have a strong proposal
Mm-hmm.
and your project aligns with the EU's priorities, you have a real shot.
Okay, that's encouraging to hear.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's not just about individual projects competing for funding.
Right.
The EU is also really emphasizing this collaborative approach.
Absolutely. They're actively fostering a culture of collaboration
Mm-hmm.
in the European AI landscape.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a key theme that's explored in episode 6 of the podcast.
Okay.
So it's not just about individual researchers or companies going it alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's about building a network of collaboration and knowledge sharing.
I love that idea. I mean, AI is such a complex field.
Right.
It just makes sense to like pool resources and expertise.
Exactly. And it's not just about sharing knowledge.
Okay.
It's also about fostering a sense of community
Mm-hmm.
and collaboration.
Okay.
So the EU wants to create like a unified AI ecosystem where people feel supported and connected.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, even if they're working on different projects in different countries.
So it's like a we're all in this together kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that collaborative spirit is something that really sets the European AI landscape apart.
Mm-hmm.
They understand that the biggest breakthroughs often come from bringing together diverse perspectives
Right.
and working together towards a common goal.
Okay. This is making me even more excited about the potential of AI in Europe. But we haven't talked much about what this future actually looks like.
Right.
Like, what are some of the emerging trends and advancements we can expect in the coming years?
Well, that's a great question, and that's something we'll delve into in the final part of our deep dive.
Okay.
Episode 7 of the podcast series takes a look into the crystal ball
Okay.
and explores what's next for AI in Europe.
Ooh. I love a good glimpse into the future.
Yeah.
Give us a sneak peek.
Well, one of the most exciting trends is the growing focus on using AI for sustainability.
Okay.
So the EU is recognizing the potential of AI to address some of the biggest challenges facing our planet,
Okay.
from climate change to resource management.
So it's about using AI to create a better future
Exactly.
for everyone.
Yep.
Okay. I can't wait to learn more.
Yeah, stay tuned in the next part. We'll explore those emerging trends, anticipated advancements,
Mm-hmm.
and how you can position yourself to be a part of this really exciting future.
All right, so we've talked about the EU's vision for AI, all the funding, all the collaboration. Now let's like fast forward a bit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what's on the horizon for AI in Europe? What does the future look like?
Well, the final episode of that podcast series,
Mhm.
AI Leadership in Europe,
Yeah.
they actually look into that, and it's really fascinating.
Okay.
One of the big things they highlight is this focus on using AI for sustainability.
Okay. Yeah, that seems to be like a recurring theme.
It is.
They're serious about using AI to tackle some of the world's biggest challenges.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They see AI as a powerful tool
Mm-hmm.
to address things like climate change, resource management, moving to a more sustainable economy.
So what does that look like in practice?
Well, one area they talk about is developing AI-powered systems for smart grids.
Oh, okay. Smart grids.
Yeah, so imagine an AI that can optimize energy distribution,
Mm-hmm.
predict demand,
Mm.
and seamlessly integrate renewable energy sources.
So it's about making our energy systems more efficient, more reliable,
Exactly.
and less reliant on fossil fuels.
Right. And it's not just energy. They're also looking at AI for precision agriculture.
Precision agriculture.
Yeah, where AI can help farmers optimize irrigation, reduce pesticide use, increase crop yield.
Oh, it's like using AI to make food production more sustainable.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and this focus on sustainability goes beyond just like the applications.
Oh, okay.
They're also encouraging development of more energy efficient AI algorithms and hardware.
Oh, that makes sense because training those huge AI models takes a lot of energy.
A lot of energy, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a big push to make AI itself more sustainable, reduce that carbon footprint.
It's like a virtuous cycle, using AI to make things more sustainable, but
Right.
also making AI itself more sustainable.
Exactly.
Very cool. Okay, so beyond sustainability, what other trends are shaping AI in Europe?
Well, another big trend is the integration of AI into just about every industry.
Yeah, it seems like AI is going mainstream.
It is. We're seeing it in healthcare manufacturing,
Yeah.
finance, transportation, like everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, and the EU is really supporting this by funding all these cross-sectoral AI projects and, creating platforms for knowledge sharing.
So it's about breaking down those silos between industries
Yeah.
and encouraging wider adoption of AI.
Exactly. And they're not just focused on the technical stuff.
Okay.
They're also really aware of the ethical implications of AI, making sure it's developed and used responsibly.
That's something we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And it's great that they're keeping that in mind as AI becomes more and more a part of our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. Understand the potential of AI is huge, but it also comes with risks
Right.
that need to be addressed.
So it's a balancing act.
It is.
Fostering innovation, but also ensuring responsible development.
Exactly. And that's really a theme that runs through that whole podcast series.
Yeah.
It's not just about building the most advanced AI, but the AI that we can all trust and benefit from.
Okay, well, this has been a really fascinating deep dive.
It have.
It seems like the EU is setting a great example.
For how to approach AI development in a thoughtful and responsible way.
I agree. They're creating a dynamic environment that really prioritizes innovation and collaboration and ethics.
So what's the takeaway for our listener, who's ready to jump into this world?
I think the future of AI in Europe is really bright.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many opportunities.
Yeah.
If you're passionate about AI and committed to responsible innovation, there's no better place to be.
And if you want to learn more about everything we've discussed, check out the AI Leadership in Europe podcast series.
Definitely a great starting point.
That's your jumping off point into this exciting world.
And that's it for this episode of The Deep Dive.
Thanks for having me.
We'll catch you next time.